GGB, Bobby B, Striper Man, Outlast, ripping jigs, shallow water type flags, no gas, Obermont, Ace Cast, confidence, you know I'm out here catching bass. So I'm just going to kind of breeze through these first couple fish, which are the biggest fish of the video, and we're all at night. But as far as like making a YouTube video, I would say that the night footage can be a little confusing for the audience. So I really haven't been showing any of it in my videos, but every big fish that I've caught in 2023 has been at night. It's been in a very particular window of time, which I'm going to keep a secret. But I will say that the larger fish will usually feed before and after the very active school starts feeding. And it's usually a window of time that's short, maybe 15 minutes before the big school starts feeding and maybe 15 minutes after. But these big striped bass are not idiots. You know, they will look for any way to break you off. And I've just found that to be, very consistent throughout big striped bass, or at least like the larger ones of the school, is that, they're big for a reason. They'll look for any way to break you off. The first fish wrapped me around a mooring, did a 360, and I haven't really been showing much like true night footage just because it doesn't really read very well in these YouTube videos. But yeah, I'm gonna cut right back into the next section of this video, which was a very, very foggy morning.
What's up, y'all? So I'm just out here doing some striped bass fishing. I was actually just kind of working some shallower water, trying to get out to a tog spot, and we got some very thick fog going on right now, so I just needed to kind of play it safe, and got into some really good striped bass fishing sort of randomly. So figured I'd just roll this video independent, just do some striper fishing, because the striper fishing is phenomenal this year. So hope you're out there catching them up. Bass are pretty much everywhere. Very great year so far. So get right into this footage, and thank you for watching. Pretty spooky out here. There's just enough fog that I feel comfortable doing this. Like a boater could see me from a little bit of a distance. But I'll tell you what, a couple of years ago, I was out in denser fog than this, jigging the bottom, and there was a boat near me, and this dude comes wailing at me, driving definitely over 30 miles an hour on his outboard, coming straight at me, and I had the flag and everything, but he just can't see you. And the guy next to me, I think he was tog fishing, blasts an air horn like so loud. The dude totally saved my life. Like, because I blend in with this kayak, anyone can. I really should have like some yellow on here or something, but even that, I don't think that they would see me. I've got a flag, but yeah, that boater saved my life. There's so many things that can go wrong when you're on these little kayaks, and especially when you're out in the fog, so I would be careful. I really should have an air horn with me, but you can't see it, but I'm hugging very, very shallow water right now, and shallow enough that a boat, hopefully if they had, GPS, they would be able to know they might hit ground if they're in this area. But kind of riding the coastline up. I try and do some tog fishing this morning, but see if they're here. The water's warm enough. I mean, it's 53 right now, and I'm in, it's getting a little foggier here all of a sudden. Sketchy. Fish pushing bait right up in these shallows. Fish on. Yeah, they're in. I need to back off. This is super shallow water. This definitely feels like a striper. I'm gonna back off here. I thought I heard them. They're right up against this wall. Definitely feels like a nice fish. Oh, he popped. Dang it. Should have put more pressure on him. Dang it. Well, at least they're here. I thought I heard him against this wall. See if I can get another one. Probably should have kept more pressure on that fish. That was an operator error right there. Fish on. Yeah, they're pushed right up against this wall. Another nice one. Gave me another chance. Try and pump this fish in rather than just putting a huge hole in his mouth like I did to that other one. I definitely am getting way too close to them. I don't want to spook the school. Nice fish. Super nice fish. What's up, buddy? What's up? I think the current's just ripping really hard. But yeah, they're definitely against. Look at this guy. He's got some jabs on him. See ya. Yeah, they are right up against this wall in like 3 feet of water. Which is something they've done year after year. I would definitely suggest, if you stripe bass fish, keeping some kind of log. There we go, fish on. And if you find them like this, don't get too close to them. You'll spook them out. Especially if you're on a boat. You've got that outboard running. Yeah, these fish are super duper shallow water. Definitely want to back off. But early in the season, shallow water and mud flats are your friend. You definitely want to be working those areas. Wow, very, very nice fish that we've got here. Because, you know, those shallow water flats, wow, super nice fish. I might take a picture with this guy. Look at this fish. What a big one. I'm gonna take a picture with him. I haven't taken a picture with my other camera in a little bit here. Leave him in the water. Let him keep the drink going. Definitely going to be careful with these fish whenever possible. Leave them in the water if you're going to take pictures. I'm just going to clean this lens off. Yeah, if you have the ability to keep the fish in the water before you take a photo, I definitely suggest doing that. Cheese. All right, bud. It'll just stress the fish out a lot less. That was a nice fish. But yeah, I'm happy to be fishing out in deeper water. I like the back bays a lot, but I definitely prefer to be in the abyss. Just a lot more freedom, I guess you could say. Woo! Almost just choked on a peanut there. But yeah, this fog is a little too intense for me to go to the tog spot, so I'm sort of waiting it out. I'm just gonna fish for striper for a bit because they're here. Might as well. Pretty nice ones too. But yeah, these striper are pretty much everywhere. I would definitely target like shallow water. I've been getting a lot of really nice fish in like 3 feet of water lately. Around like mud flats and yeah, all these fish that I'm getting, I mean, I'm in 7 feet right now, but like where I'm getting hit is like 3 feet or less. And they're just running right up against this structure wall. And I heard them when I was going by. And that's the only reason why I stopped. I heard one bust on the surface. And, but this is something that they've done year after year. As they've sort of, I don't know, you gotta know the current and the tides. But they definitely have this little pattern that they like to do every year. So I just follow the pattern. You'd be surprised if you keep a nice little log book, or even if you roll with the GoPro. You know, I find the GoPro to be super helpful with kind of keeping a visual log. I'm definitely a visual learner. Fish on. But yeah, these fish are in such shallow water. You see that? You see that fish jump out of the water like a fish jumping out of the water? That was cool. That was really cool. You can tell they're jazzed up when they're doing that. That first one I had on, I thought it was a bluefish, the way it was taking runs. But they just must be jazzed up. They usually don't take big leaps in the air like that. That was pretty cool. Freaking tarpon striped bass right there. You'd think if you just cruised by the spot that those slapping sounds were just water hitting the rocks, but it's actually striper. Like you'll be able to tell the difference between water slapping on the rocks and fish popping. You'll be able to hear it. Yeah, shallow water, flying V. Shallow water's your friend early on in the season. Mud flats, shallow water. So many birds out here. It's very pleasant. Shallow water's definitely your friend. And if you catch a fish in one spot, I would want to venture a guess that there's more. So I would work that same spot you caught that other fish. That's what I'm doing. Sort of resetting my drift to this one little area. And that's where I'm getting all the fish. Fish on. Yeah, I'm sort of just resetting my drift to the same spot every time. And they're hovering in this one area. Nice fish. Nice fish. Working a very tight drag. Wow, look at this fish. Long and slender. What a beauty. What a pretty fish. Look at this guy. That is a big fish. That is a big one. Look at that guy. Let me take a picture with him. But yeah, if you can, and you're gonna take pictures, just leave their head in the water. It'll just stress them out so much less. Like I see, I'm prepping the camera right now. I just turned it on. Now it's rolling, and so what I like to do is just a quick 1, 2, 3. Pull them out of the water. Cheese. Get a quick picture with them. And set him right back. And he's clamped down on my hand right now. But yeah, look how big that fish is. Definitely over slot. Gosh, fish are so nice this year. And then you get that nice kick. You never want a striped bass to just slowly go off. You want them to release with just as much energy as you caught them on. And yeah, I care about the striped bass because it's like I want to fish for them for the rest of my life. I don't want anything to happen to them. So I work a tight drag, get them in quick. That was a nice fish, man. We're having fun out here in this fog. But yeah, if you're getting fish in one spot, I would definitely just take note of it, and cast right back in that same area. Chances are there's more than one. And I think what these fish are doing is they're just working these edges, pushing bait around. But yeah, 2023, what a year. I've caught a ton of nice fish, a bunch of nice holdovers, and a bunch of nice ones on the kayak too. That's slack tide too. Slack tide's your friend for the big ones. I always get really big fish on slack tides. I don't know why, but I always get really, really big ones. Flying V. This bite might be coming to a close here. I'd love to go to my tog spot, but I don't know, man. Might just have to make this a striper video. Definitely don't want to push the limits. You gotta be careful out here in this fog. It's no joke. As much as you want to catch fish, it's definitely not worth risking your life. Especially I don't have my VHF with me. I don't know why I forgot the VHF this morning. That was kind of dumb. Oh, I think they're still here. Yeah, fish. Oh, he popped. He wanted it though. Fish on. He came back for it. Tarpon of the sea here. Dang, he grabbed it and then came back. So they don't want the troll. They definitely do not want the troll. Nice fish. These fish are all exquisite. Anytime they turn the kayak, that's when you know they're nice. Oh, he popped off. Dang it. But I got to take a look at him. He was pretty big. They're all sitting in this one spot. Luckily, I've got it marked out. But they won't take the troll. They don't want the troll. They want that fast lure. That purple shad. That was a cool catch, or not a catch, but that was a cool thing that just happened there. He grabbed it, let go. My hook might be getting dull. Then came back for it. That was sick. Sometimes you can go right past striped bass and have no idea. It's definitely worth it to cast around structure. I mean, I haven't marked a single fish since I've been over here. But they're just sitting right up in like 2 feet of water. And that's definitely the springtime habit. And when I'm casting up along that bank, they're like following the lure out. But, you know, I see there's some guys with bait over there. I've been watching them the entire time that I've been catching fish. And their lines are all the way out, you know. But little do they know, the fish are right next to the bank. Like, they could just drop their bait 5 feet in front of them and they would catch more fish. But yeah, striper, they're a very patterny fish. Every year they kind of have these patterns. And you got to keep that logbook. That logbook is so important. If you don't have a logbook and you're just guessing year after year, I mean, you're just random fishing. That's just random. You should go out with a plan. And you should go out with a plan with like an A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Wind changes direction, tide shifts. I mean, and this is something that I've learned just the past few years, to be honest with you. And, you know, about a year ago, I was really worried about the YouTube channel about like blowing spots up and stuff. But honestly, I could fish one spot and know the next day it's going to be trash and put the video out only 3-4 days later and know for sure that if someone that's uncreative goes out there to that spot, maybe they'll catch fish, but not the big ones. You know, if I could just delay the video by a day and know that the fish aren't going to be back there, you know, they got tails, they swim around. I mean, it's a little different with tautog, I would say, like tog, or they kind of hang in particular areas, but with striped bass, it don't matter, man. It does not matter. I could put the video out the next day and know that the fish aren't going to be there because, you know, the current changed, the moon phase shifted, the water temperature, wind direction. You got to know all that stuff. Like, that's all part of the game here. And I would say that if you look at it, I look at striped bass fishing like a puzzle, right? You can't put a puzzle together unless you have the pieces in the table. The table and the pieces are water temperature and bait. Everything else is a piece. The fish aren't going to be there if the water temperature is not right, and that constantly shifts. That's your table, right? The pieces of the puzzle are the bait. If the bait's not there, why would the fish be there? And they might be there, but not in feed mode. You know, there's definitely been times where, you know, I've marked hundreds of fish and I can't get them to hit a lure. If that's happening, you should just move. Well, thanks for watching. It was a nice little random quick striper session. I was not marking a single one of those fish. I was just kind of cruising by, trying to stay safe in the fog. And yeah, if you're kayaking, definitely be careful. Definitely have a flag up and stay close to the shoreline. boats are cruising around super quick out here, and you never know. You can it gets hairy, so just be safe if you're kayaking in the fog. Stay close to the shoreline. But a nice little session that we got into. Caught a couple really quality fish, slot to over slot. And yeah, just gave you my 2 cents on striped bass fishing. I really do think that bait and water temperature to me are kind of the table and the puzzle pieces, and everything else from the moon phase, current speed, shallow, deep water, all of those are kind of little elements. And I really do think that water temperature and bait are kind of where I start the puzzle, and then kind of work my way into the other elements from there. Everybody does it a little bit different. That's how I do it. I just look at, water temperature and bait, and then kind of piece everything together from there. I've kind of stopped paying attention to reports lately. I don't even pay attention to it anymore. I just kind of follow the weather. I would rather get on the bite before everyone else, and make the report, not follow behind it. So yeah, I mean, since, especially the past 2 years, I would say, since I've just paid attention to weather, and tides, moon phases, bait, water temperature, I've been a lot more successful. So I would definitely suggest being independent when you go out striper fishing or fishing for anything. Just pay attention to the weather. The weather is really what's going to tell the story, and then piece that puzzle together on your own. And when you do, it's so much more rewarding too. When you figure out a bite, or you're fishing completely solo around no people, and you're doing really well, and it's because you spent that time, whether it was a few days before, and you planned it out, and you made that time to catch that fish, and everything came together. I think that's a lot more rewarding than just going out and in random fishing. Just what I used to do all the time. I would just go random fishing. And yeah, that's just my 2 cents, but thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.